Dan Illman kicking off the pick six at Santa Anita on opening day Saturday with grade 1 stakes action. It's the American Oaks. It's a 300 grander. 3-year-old fillies going 1.25 miles. Before we get to the analysis, remember the store's open for DRF.com. Take 25% off the entire shop. Shop.drf.com is where you need to go. All you got to do to access this deal, use the promo code DRF2020. Let's take a look at the field for the grade 1 American Oaks. Lady Prancelot, 2-1 morning line favorite. Lady Prancelot deserves to be the favorite based off her recent win in the Valley View Stakes and the fact that, well, we don't have any Chad Brown shippers this year. Seems whenever Chad ships to the West Coast, or anywhere for that matter, he's very, very dangerous and he makes a lot of hay. No Chad Brown runners in the American Oaks. Lady Prancelot, very consistent, deserving favorite at 2-1 on the morning line. I want to throw up the Timeform U.S. pace projector for this race. I believe that this is a race where pace is going to make the race. The 7 Giza Goddess, if this Timeform U.S. pace projector is correct, she's going to be tough as nails if she gets the distance, because she's going to have to stretch out past a mile for the first time for 1.25 miles. It might just be a little bit of a bridge too far for her. But if she gets a situation like this, where she is as loose as possible on the lead, she's going to be very dangerous. And I don't even think she needs the lead. I think if the number 1, So Much Happy, who is stepping up precipitously in class off of a maiden win, decides to go to the lead, as she did last time out, Giza Goddess is going to be more than happy to let that horse go and sit second, because that horse makes for a great target. Giza Goddess is going to be very prominent when the real racing begins, and this is a good pace projector for her. Let's talk a little bit about the 1 So Much Happy, reformed maiden claimer, got the win last time out at Del Mar. We're going to take a look at that race right now, because look at these fractions. She's been controlling this pace throughout. Half mile, 49 flat in a 1 mile race she's supposed to finish. She's on her left lead. She's extending right now inside the 3/16. She changes leads right there, and it is over. Nice to see her win her maiden. Now she's got to step up into grade 1 competition, facing a dangerous pace foe in Giza Goddess on the outside. Maybe she can be a pace factor in this race. She is going to have to really up her game if she's going to pull off an upset here. The 2 is Apache Princess. Apache Princess, like Santa Anita, this is her favorite course. There's no doubt about that. But I think she's more of a shorter distance runner. 6.5, maybe to 1 mile. I think 1.25 miles is really far for her. We go back to a race 2 back in the Senator Ken Matty. This is a race at 5.5 furlongs, and Apache Princess, this just doesn't work out. Gray cap, white stripe, going to run right up into a box right here. There's just no place for her to go. She has to be snatched up at the 8th pole. She gets to the outside. She probably lost about 3/4 of a length. And by the time she gets back on track, it's over. This is a good effort for her to run second that day, despite the trouble. She came out of this race, she ran second again. It's become a worrying habit. 6 times now, 14 lifetime starts, she's run second. That race was over Tapeta in the Bear Fan Stakes. She didn't have to love that synthetic surface. She is a good, solid horse on turf that occasionally runs a big race at a price, but I am worried about the 1.25 miles. I think Javier Castellano is going to try to get her closer, stretching out from 6 to 10 with a good inside post position. Mucho Unusual, 3rd off the layoff. This horse showed some ability over the summer for Tim Yakteen, coming from way out of it to win the San Clemente as the favorite, then caught a Chad horse, Cambiar Park in the Del Mar Oaks. It was a real tough edition of the Del Mar Oaks this year. Got a little break after that race. 3rd start back now for Mucho Unusual. I thought ran well in the Autumn Miss, a race I think she needed. And then last time out, the Maid Truck, she had no shot. I mean, she's 53-1 against Got Stormy, who's one of the better milers, regardless of sex, in the entire world, perhaps. Mucho Unusual, that was an okay performance. The fact that she ran even 9th, got tired at the end. This is more to her liking. 1.25 miles, it's a question mark. Not from a pedigree standpoint. I think she'll get the 1.25 miles. KP Slickum is up next, going out for Jeff Mullins. This horse ran the Autumn Miss last time out, and minor traffic down towards the inside late. Wouldn't have won with a perfect trip. This is a horse that's done some good things on dirt, done some good things on turf, going to be tested for class. They've tried her in graded company twice, once on dirt, once on turf. She's been found wanting at big prices both times. She showed speed on dirt. She has not shown it on turf. I think she's kind of pace dependent. KP Slickum also coming off about a 2-month layoff in this race. She's really going to have to step forward because from a buyer standpoint, she's also a little bit light. She's a horse that if the pace heats up, you can see her come with a run. Lady Prancelot's up next, and she's the horse to beat. Now, I'm not really that worried about 1.25 miles. She's won at 1 1/8. The 1 3/8 in the Jockey Club Oaks 2 starts back was just a little too long for her. They cut her back to 1 16 in the Valley View. We're going to watch that race right now. Lady Prancelot was far back early. She made this very quick and decisive move on the turn to get into contention, and now she's just going to keep going. This is a prolonged move. She's on the outside, white silks, red noseband, and this is just a determined, prolonged run from mid-pack or even a little further back, a 3/8 of a mile run for her, and she wins it comfortably with a 91 Beyer speed figure. And it was a good field. Fifth place finisher came back to run second in a graded race at Churchill and Mrs. Revere with a 91 Beyer speed figure. So Lady Prancelot's coming into this race in good form. And again, remember the wet weather we've had in Southern California all week long. This turf course might retain some moisture. That win at Keeneland came over good going. She handles cutting the ground. It's all about pace. She has no early speed whatsoever. She's going to need some hitting up front. Pretty Point's up next, and Pretty Point won a maiden 2 starts back. They tried her against winners last time out. She lagged far behind a good solid pace. She came with an okay run. I thought everything set up nicely for her. She's eligible for a non-winners of 2 life, just like the horse down on the rail, and she's yet to crack an 80 Beyer. She's not the best closer in the race, Lady Prancelot is. She needs a lot to go her way. Giza Goddess was a very good 2-year-old for John Sheriff. She won the Blue Northern Stakes over another very good 2-year-old filly in Colonial Creed. She got into some issues, I'm assuming, from a physical standpoint because she missed about 10 months. So she comes back off a 10-month layoff in the Grade 3 Autumn Miss Stakes going a mile. We're going to watch that race right now. She went 45 to the half on the lead. That's what's known as fresh speed. You could understand after 3/4 of a mile and 8 2 and her carving out the fractions with a horse, right to her outside that's been putting the heat on from the beginning that she's going to quit at 30 to 1. Well, she doesn't. It takes Keeper of the Stars, a real nice horse on the outside, to run her down. But she ran great considering the layoff, considering that she did all the work and all the heavy lifting on the lead. All right, she ran in the Matriarch last time out, and she was up close to a fast pace again. And she just can't run with horses like Got Stormy. I'm not going to hold that race against her. I really think that she still has upside. This is only going to be her 9th lifetime start. I think she's running back into shape. This will be her 3rd race back for Sheriffs. She's either on the lead or sitting second. She's very dangerous, as is Vibrance. Vibrance is a horse that, as a 2-year-old filly, placed in several graded stakes races, including the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. She's a turf horse now, and I think she deserves to be a shot in this race. She's really bred for turf. Her race 2 starts back. She was second best to the odds-on favorite, Raymundo's Secret, who's a nice horse. So they stretched her all the way out to a mile and 3/8, and I think she liked that last time out in the red carpet. She's had a nice trip in the pocket, but then it didn't work out at the quarter pole. She got shuffled back just a bit. Now we'll pick it up. She got shuffled back as we turn into the stretch. Vibrance is in the blue cap, and now she's in between horses. And she's kind of in between, and this isn't the most comfortable spot. John Velasco is going to find the rail right here, and she's going to dive down towards the inside, and she'll finish with some interest. And it was an okay race. She's now paired up 86 Beyers in her last 2 races. There's no reason why she can't take a step forward. She does often settle for minor awards, eligible for a non-winners of 2 life, but I think cutting back to the 1.25 miles is going to work for her, and she's got good tactical speed as well. I could see her sitting 3rd or 4th, with a bead on these leaders when the real running begins. Vibrance, I think, is very logical and dangerous in this spot. Yes, Lady Prancelot is the horse to beat in this race. I'm going to try to beat her, and I'm going to try to beat her with Giza Goddess as we take a look at my top picks. Giza Goddess, I think, again, is just going to get a great setup, either on the lead or just off it. I think she's going to be in control turning in the stretch. We'll see if she can get the 1.25 miles. From a pedigree standpoint, it might be a bit questionable. Cairo Prince on top of Harlan's Holiday. I'm going to trust John Sheriffs in here to have her ready. A couple of stamina-building 5-furlong workouts. I also think Vibrance is going to run very well. I have no issues about the distance, and she is also in good form. Lady Prancelot, maybe a little too late, coming from the back of the pack. 7853 for me in the Grade 1 American Oaks, kicking off the Pick 6 at Santa Anita, opening day Sunday. Approximate post time 1:30 Pacific. Good luck.